Yeah, well, hey, bud. It's getting close to your bedtime. Well, we got a little while. It's 9:20 Monday, June 2nd, 2014, and we've made a couple videos today. Just one at the other place. That's a slime mold. We're going to talk about that maybe a little bit, but don't put your hand in there, okay? Why don't you go inside and wash your hands?
Why?
Because it's unsanitary, that's why.
What does unsanitary mean?
It means it's dirty. Anyway, things are going pretty well, but there have been a few problems. You know, we highlighted the peppers, and it looks like we're out of the woods on that. They're starting to come back here at the house. But a problem I haven't talked about that I need to talk about because you guys need to know, and maybe you've experienced it, is a problem with insects.
So that's mold?
Yep, slime mold. Why don't you go see if you can find some more peas for me?
Daddy, more slime mold.
Yep, don't touch it.
And more.
Why don't you go find some more peas for Mom? She really likes them. Well, take a look. Don't pick them unless they're big.
Like this one?
No, the peas have to be kind of fat. Take a look through there. Anyway, problem that needs to be discussed is insects. And basically to cut through, the baloney. Basically, we've had a problem with American cockroaches in the compost bin, and most recently in these raised beds up front. And how I knew that is about this time, a little later. All right, you go potty, all right?
Okay.
Anyway, I discovered that I was out, about this time, a little later, and was getting some work done and noticed them all over the compost bin back there. These insects flying around. They were about 1.5 inches, about that long, 2 inches long, and it kind of freaked me out. I was like, man, I'm glad they're back there. So, but when I got up here and was sitting down, we're just kind of enjoying the beginning of the evening hours, noticed them all over this raised bed, probably 30 of them or so, which that was disturbing because they're like 15 foot away from the house. So what to do, first of all, yeah, I'll get some here in a bit for you, okay? So what to do, First of all, I needed to figure out what they were, and then secondly, what I could do about it. Well, doing some research and reading on the gardening forums, it turns out they were American cockroaches. Now they're called by pretty names, names that are more palatable, that aren't as offensive, like palmetto bugs, or water bugs.
Daddy, what are water bugs and palmetto bugs?
They're American cockroaches, that's what they are, bud.
And what do they do?
They're part of the soil food web. Yes, they're part of the soil food web. What they do is they eat just about anything, but they like dead and decaying matter. They like hanging out on compost bins and stuff like that. I've seen them on the potato bin. I've seen them on the raised beds. All over the place. So, anyway, make a long story short, they are part of the soil food web. They do their part to help break down stuff. And it's probably because I've got a foot of wood chips in this bed. And that could be part of the moisture problems. That's why we're having the slime molds in here and just all kinds of problems with this raised bed. And probably because it's not getting enough light and it's too moist. And anyway. So, but getting back to the American cockroaches, what to do? We don't want them in the house, that's for sure. And they were pretty content to stay out here. So, but what we did, bud, was we took boric acid, powder, and it was in powdered form and tablet forms.
And I hurt the legs.
No, I didn't hurt the lettuce, but what we did, we hurt the cockroaches up here. We don't want them up here, and basically it took care of the problem. I took.
There's 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You're right. So what I did was I took the boric acid powder and just squeezed it in all the seams of this raised bed on the outside where I'd seen them crawling around.
But now you.
And then I put the tablets in all the little 3, half-inch, 3/4-inch holes that are all over this thing.
And that looks really good. There's not really any more cockroaches.
That's right, because what happens is the tablets were baited. They were baited, which meant they had something that attracted them to it, so that they got their little legs all over them, maybe tried eating them. I don't know, but let's leave it alone. That's a tablet. So anyway, that took care of them, and then the powder on the woodwork and the seams where they had their little trails and stuff, they're walking in that. Well, how it works is that they clean themselves at some point, and by looking at it, however they clean themselves, and the boric acid kills them. And actually, I guess reading up on it, back in the old days, and maybe they still do this in like home construction, they actually recommended like putting boric acid powder into the joints, the framing of homes, so that if you did have insects that came in, basically you've already got the stuff there to eliminate them or control them or whatever. So anyway, we gave it a weekend and it worked. I mean, pretty much each day we saw a decline in the populations up front here, to where now I don't see anything that's been out in the last 2 days. So I think we got them. We at least got them under control. Now the compost bin, I didn't do anything with that. I just leave that be. It's just like 50 foot away from the house. And again, they're part of the soil food web. They're breaking stuff down. But in the future, what I'm going to try to do, I think, is get me a stand-up like composter that would basically keep the varmints out, where I can make compost in like a turnstile. Like I think there's a company called or there's a composter called Jura Form that I read a lot of reviews on. That seems to be really good.
What happens if you touch tablets?
Well, it's not, boric acid is not good for the human skin. It will irritate your skin, and you definitely do not put any of that in your mouth. Do you understand?
Yeah, because it's toxic.
It's toxic. What does that mean?
It means you could get very sick or die.
That's right. And we don't want to send you to the hospital again, okay?
Why in the hospital? The penny stick in my...
Yeah, he swallowed a penny this past year. We had to take him to the hospital to get it out. But anyway. Yeah.
I'll make it healthy.
So anyway, that'd be the long-term plan, to get something that could accommodate quite a bit of kitchen scraps, that we compost it pretty quickly, and then use the bin as storage, basically. If I don't do that, the other recommendation is to keep it to a 30-to-1 carbon to nitrogen ratio if you have any fresh scraps and stuff. Yeah, hey, I would appreciate if you don't get on that chair anymore, because you're going to end up snapping it, okay? Please put that back up. Please put it back where you found it. Now set the other one up. Thank you. Anyway, 31 carbon to nitrogen ratio, and then if you've got any kind of kitchen scraps and stuff, try to bury them, or I could sheet compost like I did in the fall, and just kind of bury it in places in the garden to control the insects. So anyway, those are some thoughts, just kind of quick summary of another problem that we face this season. ultimately what I'm probably going to do, and I know the light, it's getting darker, it's getting harder to see, but what I'm probably going to end up doing is redoing this raised bed. I just learning experience. You know, again, it's too moist, so I might not water as much and just see what happens, and then kind of go from there. So anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye. Say bye, bub.
Bye.